fighter to file. Then they come on and told her that employee found her which one it is. The employee did it. Which one it is?
No, don't drop no accusations.
No, I'm just getting whatever else you said that the discrepancy was.
Once we was here, they told my mama that the fire department found my sister in the freezer, dead, deceased. But they called her a few days later and told her that they told her that an employee found my sister deceased. It was like 10 of us out here. They did not say.
Did they say anything else that what was in that freezer? Because why so long before somebody would go in a freezer in a hotel this stuff?
We went in the freezer. It wasn't nothing in the freezer but one little piece of ice, and the freezer was warm when we got in the freezer. It wasn't even cold. They said they had just turned it up. Even if it was out, it should still be a little cold when the freezer was all full of ice.
Did they say anything about any obvious marks on her, anything like that?
No, they didn't let us see her until they put her in the body bag. We didn't see none down here. We only saw her from neck on up. And her hair was all over her head. It looked like she was stifled. I asked her friends how was her hair was when she left out the hotel. They said her hair was flat and straight down. And when I saw it, it looked like it was just all over her head. It didn't add up. It didn't add up.
Were you the one who spoke with your sister at about 1:30 the night before on Saturday morning? Or no? One of your family members spoke with her at 1:30, right?
No, I know she left house at 11:30.
On Friday?
Yeah.
But Saturday morning, there was a report that somebody spoke with her, at least knew that she was alive at 1:30 on Saturday morning. Is there any confirmation that you know of from that? Okay.
No, I didn't.
So we're literally looking for what happened from that time until she was found Sunday morning. I mean, nobody really...
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
That's a whole day, but not the, like, even if a boy did find her, what made that a boy go into an empty freezer? How? If y'all say y'all don't use this area no more, so why is the boy in this area? I don't know.
There was also concern about her being locked in, possibly. Like, was there a padlock or something on the outside?
They found her in a double freezer. You had to go through one freezer to get through another freezer. But before you enter that freezer room, it's a camera right there. My mother asked them, did the camera work? The men say, the police officer said, detective. He said, I'm not sure. So now he say, told my mama, you can see video, whoever entered that room before, before you got in there, you can, yes, you should be able to see it, because there's a camera right there before you enter the room. And it was an emergency lock inside the freezer. So if ain't nobody put her in there, if they say she walked in and like they say, I'm pretty sure that the co-worker out when she was intoxicated, that supposed to woke her up. Why did she push the button? It wasn't nobody on. I mean, even if she did put herself in, she would have pushed that button in the door supposed to open. It don't add up because she walked in there. I'm pretty sure my sister would have pushed that button to get up out of there because she was freezing. It ain't right. It's emergency buttons in the door, so just in case the door shut, it ain't even no handle.
Leonard, did you see this video that was traveling around on Facebook? And this is something I want to ask police, because I've asked them before. They said they weren't privy to it today. With a young lady who said she was her friend, who had a knife in her hand and a white T-shirt, and she was. Is there any reason for you to be concerned about?
I saw that, but if it was somebody from the hotel park, the police didn't tell us.
Somebody's doing something.
Yeah, they didn't tell us if it was. They didn't.
That's what I thought. That didn't add up. This is attached. Okay. If there's any other way for you to use us, I'll text you my number. You can reach out to us. Jamal has my number too, and also, yeah. But if you need anything else, I'm so sorry. This isn't something you should be grieving now. You shouldn't be trying to solve a crime here.
Yeah, but sometimes we got to do what we got to do. Yes, that's my little sister. I'm not going to stop until I get you.
Can I ask you a question, sister? What is it that you want to tell the whole world to stop saying about your sister, negative, anything on Facebook, all these lies until the truth come out? What is you want, the message that you want to
I want to tell them to please stop making it seem like my sister was here, because what she had on, because what you wear don't identify your character. You can't judge a book by its cover. So I don't care what this hotel known for, because I got a lot of rumors that the hotel known for selling. You know what? One thing, and I'm not just saying this because she's my sister. You can ask anybody out here that know her. Kanika had 2 boyfriends out of her life that I know about. hearing nothing. I know she wasn't here. They need to stop saying that she was drunk, because now it's a bunch of other videos that's at 2:40, that's at 2:30. It's a lot of more videos coming out, and I have the video. See, she was fine. She was sitting there. She wasn't like this or none of that. So if y'all say she got lost at 2, somehow she in a video. So she just sitting there. She talking. Because when the manager knocked on the door, whoever it was, Kanika was one of the persons that went to the door and they say that was the manager. You see this in the video. So she was drunk and she had to come up missing around 3-something, not 2-something. It ain't adding up because we got like 5 more videos. So what they saying not adding up. They say it was at 3:20. She was stumbling. They say she was stumbling.
Right.
I don't believe that.
Well,
At the front desk, you're talking about, yeah. In the hallway.
They say she was walking to an employee area and they saw her on the camera stumbling, like holding on to the wall to walk like she was intoxicated.
did you guys view that camera, or that's what
No,
they told you?
they saw that after we viewed the camera.
Okay.
They didn't show us that camera. They saw that after we reviewed all. Once I left, they said they did every camera that they had in the hotel. They got extra.
So tomorrow you can get your hands on that. You can stay there and show me you can say, show me everything, right? I mean, sit there all day long.
If they willing to show it to me, yes.
Are you okay with me giving him your number?
Yes.
He can reach out to you.
Where is the freezer? Where's the freezer located?
In the basement, right?
Okay, to get to the freezer from the elevator, you have to walk straight. You got to pass the front desk, and then you have to turn. It's a long hallway. You got to walk through the hallway. You got to open 2 double doors. Before you open the door, it's a camera right there. Before you enter the door. And I told the police officer, I'm like, it's a camera right here. He told me it's 7 different ways to enter the kitchen.
What about the freezer? You can enter the kitchen all kinds of ways. He's going to have to sit there until the kitchen.
I say it's the camera right here. So he say it's 7 different ways to enter the freezer. And it's the long way you gotta go. For her to be drunk like she had a mind.
Why not go outside and get air?
You gotta go through
Why not go outside?
Then you gotta go through a little walkway. Then you gotta keep walking. You gotta walk through something else. Then you gotta open the little door thing. Then you gotta walk some more. Go through a door thing where the camera before they say no, we not there yet. They say no, we not there yet. We not there. How did she do all this? Drunk. When you drunk, you go in the
go outside. You don't go outside. Who the think of going to basement? What is it in the basement? Come on.
No, it's on the front lobby.
Front lobby floor.
Yeah, it's on the front. Once you walk past the desk, it's a little hallway. You gotta walk.
Then how would she know to go there?
It's 2 big white doors. You gotta open the doors to get in, and it's the camera right there.
I don't know much about me. That would be, I'd be taking a path of least resistance. So this is going to, okay, well, that's much worse
So
for me.
basically what they saying is that she passed the way you exit to go to these
To
doors.
get in there.
It don't sound right.
You have all day.
First, let me say thank you for finding this video. Be patient. And even if you've seen some of the same clips in this one and another video or my past video, just be patient and watch the whole video. I repeat, watch the whole video. This is not clickbait. This is something that you need to see and send to whoever you need to send to. Let's go ahead and be real about this situation. Like, one of the main things I said from the very beginning, you should always be a person that asks questions. So, unfortunately, we do have people out here that live this world that don't ask questions. They don't ask questions. Either their parents have taught them not to ask questions, just told them to shut up all their life, so they have grown up into adults that don't ask questions. They see things, they don't look past surface level. Someone tell them something, they believe it. They don't do further investigations. They don't try to find out anything else to see if it's true, especially if things don't make sense. If things don't make sense, a lot of times it's worth digging deeper into it. And even if someone tell you the truth, I was taught to fact check it just to make sure. Now, the very first thing that popped into my mind was, in order for a person to be able to pull this crime off with the evidence that we're seeing as far as surveillance footage being inside of that particular hotel, in order for them to be able to pull this particular crime off, the only way that can happen is someone needs to know the camera systems, know where all the cameras are at, have simple editing skills. Simple. See, a lot of times people think you gotta be in Hollywood nowadays to do editing skills. You don't. It's so much stuff out here. Why do you think people are creating hit records at home? It's stuff that's at home nowadays that you can do.
I'm about to show y'all right now is this dude right here in the blue waiting for Kanika to come in the kitchen. This man is standing there. He's standing on the side of something.
Let me show you. He's like this to y'all.
He's standing on the side. And
With a hood on, white
he
hood
can,
on, blue jacket.
white hood on,
Look
blue
at-
jacket.
wait for
Let me
the
show
one
y'all.
across the corner.
White hoodie, blue jacket. He can see Kanika through this little window right here. This window supposedly also has a person in it, and that's why it's black right there. But that is a window. So what is this black? What is that? It's probably a person that he's communicating with. That's what they're saying.
This is the face.
Now Kanika's gonna walk in this door, and you're gonna see him look for her just a little bit. And once he see her get to this point, he gonna turn his face back straight,
Like he wasn't looking.
like he wasn't looking.
Like he minded his own business.
And then as she walks out, he gonna lean his head up.
And if y'all don't believe us, whatever, you feel me? You could go watch this video for yourself and look at that spot and tell me don't move.
I'm gonna just keep the camera right here. Y'all watch his activity and tell me this ain't a dude. Turn his face.
Do it again. Play it back.
I'm gonna zoom out. I'm gonna zoom out. One more time. I'm gonna zoom back in. This is ridiculous. Shh, baby. You see now he looked for her. And he turned his head back around. I know y'all saw that shit. One more time. You know, I'm gonna get as close as I can.
Y'all
He
seen
fixed
that?
his pants and everything. Y'all see this?
Watch it for yourself.
Oh my God.
You just watch it for yourself.
Who knew the layout and where the kitchen was at to know that there's instruction, that freezer was empty, that would be the best place to put her body, that possibly no one would go into for days to give anyone that killed her time to get away? Who would know where all the cameras are at? Who would know how to access the cameras? Which means, in return, that this had to be premeditated. This wasn't on the spur of the moment. If this was premeditated and wasn't on the spur of the moment, and we're saying allegedly, if this was the three guys, because videos that's going to come up on the screen throughout this video is going to show a guy in a blue hoodie with a blue jacket with a white hoodie. If these three guys allegedly have something to do with this particular situation,
Video of Kanika Jenkins, Nene 2 times posted this, whatever. Who the fuck is this dude? I paused it. I kept pausing it. And
That
who
is not Kanika, bro. How could her neck stretch that far?
That's a dude's face.
This is a face
That's a
right
man.
here. I need
That's a
something to
man.
point. I need something to point to it.
Hold on, let me flip the fucking.
Here. This is Kanika's shoulder. Her head should be somewhere right here, but her head is down, and that's why her hair is falling. Because Kanika's head is down. This man right here with this hoodie on the back of his head and his face right here, he's walking her.
And this whole time, they've been cutting out people. They've been cutting out the people or whoever this dude is walking behind them. They edited the video, cutting the person around, but they couldn't catch this one.
But these red squares is picking up the frequency. So when she start walking, these red squares gonna start doubling.
Watch what happens. Let's watch what happens when I press play. Is it gonna disappear? Vanish into her face. Let's watch. Let's restart it and y'all watch for yourself.
God.
Was that her? Was that her face?
You gotta do it slow like you did. Slow it down.
Oh no, hold on.
It's because we on YouTube and the letters keep coming up right where you need to see it at.
What the fuck is this, first of all?
That's not Kanika. That's a hoodie. That's a face. And look at that man.
Got him.
Look at that man. How is her head way up here? Oh my God. Oh my God.
And then play. My bad. Hold on, I'm gonna let it play out this time.
Oh my God. That baby was murdered. Ooh.
I don't know, y'all. I could be tripping. I'm not feel me.
That means they had to plan this to be able to even get the film to send it to the police. I do not believe the police is involved with this. The police are just as blindsided as us. Now, the only way I can see the police having even a reason to edit these videos once the hotel sent it to them is if they know that by law that they're liable to get sued by the mother and the family. Reason why I'm saying this is the mother and everybody was calling during a crucial time, and they were saying, well, it hasn't been long enough. They're probably just sleep in the room. Correct me if I'm incorrect, but either the police were sent out of the hotel, either word that said that to her, that was a crucial time where they possibly could have saved her. It's 1,000% chance, definitely, this hotel can be sued. And if that's the only way I can see the police having a reason to edit and put it out as if she did this to herself, is to stop themselves from being sued. Which my thing is, what's the background of this particular city, Rosemount? Are they known for being corrupt to do this? Because some things you just have to man up to as a facility, as a unit, as a police, and say, we fucked up and we could have saved your daughter, but we were trying to go by policies by saying that your daughter has not been gone long enough, which for some reason that law is like that, where a person has to be at least missing for 24, 48 hours before they can file a missing report. But apparently in that mother's soul, she knew something was wrong, especially once the girls got to calling her. But my thing is, that's why I say this is definitely no one on the spot of that night. Just take it back. Just take it back. And I'm not trying to ramble, but so much is going through my mind. Just take it back into when the girl Irene's birthday was coming up and she even announced that she was going to throw it at a hotel. Supposedly, allegedly, either herself or Monifa supposed to have had worked at that hotel before. So if that's the case, that means you know where the cameras are at. You probably have built relationships with other employees there. You probably might have a relationship with the cameraman or security guards. You know the layout of the building. You possibly know or definitely know certain areas that's under construction and what don't work and how to get to the freezer. So that means that that information is available by someone that used to work there. But the three boys committed this crime. It was premeditated way before this night. No one, unless it's just certain footage where people was Snapchatting and stuff, unless they turned all that stuff off, no one sat down in a huddle right in front of Kanika and came up with this game plan.
All right, peace everybody. Everybody's investigating this, right? I want y'all to look at this, and there's a timestamp on this video right here. And check out the hand that tries to grab her from over in this area right here. So I'm going to take it back and play it in full time. I'm going to keep looping it so you can see the hand. See the hand? Go back. Watch the hand. Watch the hand try to grab her. See it? Watch the hand try to grab her one more time. Watch the hand try to grab her. Right there. Got it. And then it flicks. All right, so check it out. A hand's going to try to grab her. Now, you know they edited this because you see the hand, then the video is going to flick. See the hand try to grab her? Flick. That's not me doing this. I'm doing this at home. This is the original video. Watch this. Watch the hand. Grab her. Look, they tried to grab her. Pull it back over. So somebody knew where the camera was. So that's why this is real fishy. Watch. Watch the hand. See the hand? Try to grab her.
So regardless of people trying to say, oh, she didn't say freezers, she said tickets, which who calls key cards tickets? In that hotel, if you look at it outside at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, they're not parking in valet. So what quote-unquote tickets could they be talking about? You losing a key card does not cost you $200. Maybe some of you guys are kids. I've stayed in multiple hotels. You lose your key card, it does not cost $200 to get it replaced. So it was premeditated before that night. Like I said, which I could be wrong, I don't believe that she was being raped in that room and they were saying help, help, or that voice that people heard in other videos, which is a possibility, but I don't think so. I think up until the last part of her being showed in that room, she was still halfway sober. When people was constantly telling her to lighten up, she probably felt some peer pressure and probably ended up having a drink, and that's when it was spiked. And that's when everything went left and people were, remember you kept hearing, are you going to go with me? Are you going to go with me? And I think from that point on, it was one of those 3 guys, possibly the guy with the dreads, don't want to point the finger at each other, but it was one of those 3 guys that ended up getting her out of that room, and that's when everything else happened. But you can see that it's editing. You've seen by other things in this video that you can disappear people out of shots. You can blend bodies. You see videos that's being shown. These people that's showing these videos are not sitting at a computer, you know, showing you. They're holding their cell phones, watching YouTube like you're watching YouTube right now, catching different things in these videos. So, it's a very unfortunate situation. But we as a people of the world and of the internet and the people that's viewing this, it's up to us to make sure that we share this video. We do our due diligence. Even if people feel like her mother's not showing any sympathy and they feel like her organs is being sold for Kanika, we have to make sure that we know what's up. And I think what makes this even more scary is because we, at one point in time, thought we were living in a society where if people do things in the alley where there's no cameras, they can get away with it. But to do something right in front of the cameras and be able to manipulate the system, you don't have to be a Harvard student to do these things. A lot of editing can be done directly from a phone. So my thing is, if you piece those puzzles together, someone used to work there, they know the staff, they know the layout, they know the freezers, and then you got 3 guys that's willing to pull it off, and you got someone that's even crafty just with editing. This can be done, but the internet is smarter than what the police or these individuals think. But this is what's something else that's the fault of the police is, look, who are looking on the police side? Are you guys stupid? Are you guys stupid? When people send you stuff, do you just watch it one time in full speed and say, hey, let's put it out to the public? This was her, so it can be an open and closed case, so you don't have to do any further work. You don't, it's simple things about the footage that was released. If you yourself go download an app in your phone, iPhone Store, Google Play, download something that you can slow down images and videos, do some of this stuff yourself, slow it down, you will see where images skip, you will see where images, you see people trying to grab her, then the images skip, you will see a lot of stuff going on. At the end of the day, it was premeditated, and if the boys had something, if the boys were the actual ones that killed her, allegedly, if them boys actually was the ones that killed her, that means it was premeditated, which means that them girls were involved too and knew the situation was going to happen that night. I don't believe that Kanika was raped in that room. I think the whole plan was to keep her in that room And then once they seen that she ended up having her one drink or whatever the case may be and was able to slip her something and get her incapacitated, where they can guide her to where they were trying to get her to do whatever they were trying to do. Now they say it's supposed to be because of some beef with a brother. The brother's already dead. This just shows how sick people are to continuously keep beefing, which there in Chicago, this beef won't end. Apparently, if them boys get off scot-free, someone's going to come back and retaliate on them, unfortunately, if that's the particular situation. But I'm going to tell you like this. The video, 100% is edited. People on the internet are smart. Don't never stop asking questions. This is the reason why the Sandra Bland situation was able to fly past so quick, because people stopped asking questions and people stopped requesting information. This girl was murdered. She did not just walk around for an hour and a half just clueless nowhere and just so happenly, and she's supposed to walk past the front desk. Where's that footage at? She's supposed to walk past the front desk messed up. You know, most of the time near the front there's seats and stuff somewhere. And she was just so tired to go sit in the freezer. Right when she was near the front desk, she didn't sit down and she was so tired. That shit is not true. That's why there's no evidence for that. Unless they are quote-unquote creating stunt doubles. But I don't think that they're creating stunt doubles. That is her walking. See, I'll tell people this is what you need to do. If you don't believe that's her because you're seeing her body size, I hate to say it like this, but it's just certain information by now. If you're over 15, 16, 17 years old, you should know. But since you don't know, go ahead and Google your local electronics store. Call and speak to the departments that deal with cameras, low-end cameras, high-end cameras, and make sure you have someone on the phone that's an expert. Don't tell them the reason why you're asking this question, but just ask them. On TV, if a person is on TV filming with different resolution and different lenses and stuff like that, can it make a person look smaller or bigger? Just ask them that. Different lenses is known for maybe some people that's just not stuck in a box smoking blunts and weed all day and don't know nothing else, but know a little bit about different fields, that TV can put 10 pounds on you. I do believe that's that girl. And I do believe she was guided down there, and I do believe, unfortunately, that we know that she was murdered in that particular area. Now, since they're slowly starting to see that someone was carrying her, that just proves the fact that the last scene that they showed us, and then they slowly, you gotta think, look at these pieces are coming out. How these pieces, the last film they showed us was just her going around that corner, then nothing else. Then it took a couple days to show her coming around that last corner. That's because whoever is sending this stuff over to the police are editing this before. Why don't the police say, no, we don't want you to send us bits and pieces. Send us everything you got, and we will go through it. This just shows the stupidity of the Chicago PD, of how you're letting the hotel control this situation, or the security guards or wherever control this situation. That's why you're not finally seeing the footage of her going into the freezer herself, because they're trying to fix that somehow to make it seem like she got herself in there. They're going to blur those two bodies together because this is stuff that can be done. They're going to blur those two bodies together and probably put her head or something. And this shit sounds crazy, but the thing is, up until now, I'm not no conspiracy theorist. I'm a realist. I'm a reality realist type person. And certain images and certain things I've seen, this shit is edited. And if you just by now can't tell that this stuff is edited, you're possibly someone under a fake account from up there in Rosemont trying to put things in the comment section to make people believe that it's not. Point blank period. Point blank period. Now it's just up to if the justice system up there is smart enough to catch the people. All they need to do is all they gotta do is just go round all them up and start sitting them down. I guarantee you somebody gonna snitch on somebody. Someone's going to say something that's going to be incriminating, or the story's not going to be adding up. You're going to have people that was in that room that was sitting next to each other. People's stories not going to be adding up. It's going to be, which is not going to make them credible. They're going to tell on themselves. They're going to tell on themselves. I'm going to keep it real with you like this. You don't have to be that smart to learn editing. But when you sit down with the police, they have certain tactics and certain things, especially if you get people and separate them and ask them questions. You would think it'd be kind of ass backwards, like, well, if a person is smart enough to edit on a computer, then they should be smart enough to outthink the police. No. I'm telling you. It's the other way around. People are stupid. Just like when people were talking about, that's Irene, a fake page. Look at how she's talking. Did you listen to how she was talking in her video? And this is not just to disrespect her, but right now, no one deserves no respect because this girl, Kanika, is dead. She can barely speak out her mouth. You think she was going to write in proper English? Like, come on. People need to use their mind. And situations like this just show you how stupid people in this world is. Everything about conspiracy theories is just some things you need to watch with a closer eye and stop just being so gullible to believe any and everything that people say to you, and check stuff out. And you will see little bitty things inside where if you was running this film straight through without pausing it, without slowing it down, it will come through clear like that's her. But if you got simple software, like I said, go into your phone, download all the original images the police sent out, download them to your phone, go to your Google Play Store, go to your iPhone store, download an app where you can slow stuff down and watch it. Some of this stuff you will catch yourself. Point blank, period. I'm going to try to make this video as brief as possible. It's a few things that I think in this last video that I put up, I'll put a link in the description to that video, that people either question or people missed, that I tried to go back and put in the comments to tell people to pay attention to, but I don't think enough people became aware of this particular situation. Now, we're talking about the very last video footage that was released by the news, which was sent from Rosemont Police, which came from the hotel, of her actually, quote-unquote, walking into the freezer. Even though the police have now stated that they don't have any video footage of her actually going into the freezer because the camera was not in that angle to catch that. How many of us knew that this was going to happen? After how many days? 11 days. Basically, they could have told us that 11 days ago, or whenever the last time they put out a video, that they didn't have that evidence. It was no way for them to figure out how to edit. There was no way for them to figure out how to edit and blend those bodies together to make her seem realistically that she could have put herself in there and that door would have shut. So now they're saying that the cameras was not facing that. But one thing I want you guys to pay attention to is when she was walking in. Now, people, one thing they noticed in this video, that the gentleman that was wearing blue with a white hoodie, allegedly supposed to be in the back, and they said that they could see his head slightly move. Then it seems like it's an elbow in that window as well, like as if a person has their hand up to their ear, maybe holding a cell phone, because people possibly are communicating. And when you slow down the video, you can see that a man is holding Kanika and walking her to where you can't see anymore. That's a very pivotal, very important thing. Not those things that I just named are very important, but this is very important. I'm going to play it a couple times, and then I'm going to try to slow it down as much as possible. The main thing I want you to focus on, don't look at anything else on the screen except her shoes. look at her shoes. Even if you have to pause the video right now, look at her shoes. You know the difference between the toe of a shoe and you know the difference between the heel of a shoe, correct? Look at the toe of her shoe and look at the heel of her shoe. It should be playing on the screen right now. What I want you to do is pay attention to her two last steps. Her two last steps, her left foot goes off the screen first, then her right foot. Look at when her left foot goes off of the screen. Look how wide that step is. You can almost see where that foot possibly would land at, right? For her to take her next step. Look at when her left foot goes off of the screen, how far that step would be. Before her right foot goes off of the screen, you're going to see her left foot again. And it's not the heel of that shoe. It's the pointed toe part of her shoe. And then that shoe, slowly, it doesn't pick up in a walking motion. It slides away as if she was being dragged. Play it back, whatever you got to do. Of course, I'm going to play it on the screen again. But just pay attention to the heel of her shoe and the front of her shoe. And her last steps, her left foot goes off the screen first. And look how big that step would be. And by the time her right foot is about to go off of the screen, not to mention those last 3 or 4 steps, her left arm is not even in a swaying motion anymore, like as if she was walking. It's just hanging there, and she's leaning back. Who walks like a zombie? Who walks? Stand up right now as you're holding this phone and looking at this, and I want you to do it with me. Who walks leaning back with their arms not moving and their legs are in front of them walking? Who walks like that? Even when you're drunk, who walks like that? No one. These are things we know. These are things we're not going to allow the media or the police station to tell us that she put herself in there, since now they're saying they don't have any evidence or no footage of putting her in there. There's still a lot of other things that we want to see. We want to see her friends, since they said they were walking around looking for her. We want to see that footage. We want to see all 30 plus people leave out of that room. We want to see who left out of that room together. We want people that was in that room, not to say that they haven't and we just don't know, to actually get called down to the police station and separately, individually question them. Now, it's something else that I did, that I called a few different stores. A couple different electronic stores to ask them, as far as cameras, when you're filming or recording something, can it alter how a person looks? And what made me, I said it in my last video, that most people know when you're on TV, it can add 10 pounds to you. But I wanted to provide at least some more context to it, so people just don't go by what I say as a fact, that I encourage people to call their local electronic stores and ask them as well. And this is what people said to me.
Thanks for calling Best Buy. Today we are open from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m.
Hi, this is Manny from Appliances. How you doing today? Yes, hi, how you doing? I might have picked the wrong one, but is this the same as electronics, or is that a different department?
I mean, yes and no, but what's your question?
I'm trying to figure out, I just have a question as far as like different cameras and different things like that, like the lenses of different cameras. Can cameras, like, say for instance, if I'm filming, you're filming yourself, but you got the camera kind of from a distance from yourself. Can different cameras like make you look heavier or smaller, or do they pick up like the exact weight?
Yeah, not really. That you would probably have to base off of like reviews and everything like that, because reason is because lenses have different focal lengths, and depending on the depth perception and everything like that, it can make people or even objects look differently, either skinnier or smaller. So it's really hard for me to say.
But that it is possible.
It is possible, yeah, because a bunch of different lenses offer a bunch of different focal lengths and everything like that, which kind of either distorts everything or not really. It depends.
Yes, I was calling. I have a question. I'm trying to inquire about different alarm systems and different cameras that you can place like inside possible for your business. I'm doing a paper for college, and I'm trying to get like some information to see on this case that's been going on, to see like cameras that's installed for like businesses or hotels or whatever the case may be. Can cameras possibly like alter, make a person look bigger or smaller?
Yeah.
They can, so sometimes a camera that picks up a person don't necessarily mean it's exact weight. What would change that? The lenses, the resolution, what would make that?
That I could not begin to tell you.
Okay.
But I do know from experience, looking at cameras and 4-hour work, if it's not like an exact, some cameras make you look bigger.
Now, another thing that I want to talk about is this particular picture of Kanika side by side of looking at her outfit. Looking at her outfit, she had rips and stuff on her outfit. People were tripping about, the patches that she have in her leg, which I have seen some women where their pocket can cover that. Who knows? One thing that I said in my last video, and I want to be as informational and detailed as possible within one video. I don't want to make 10 videos a day because I do want this girl to be able to rest, but I do want this information to be in the world so we don't have these Sandra Bland type of situations consistently. At least the people can leave the situation knowing for 100% fact that she was not alone, because what the media is trying to do right now, and I'm going to talk about that later, what they're trying to do right now is desensitize the public. So when this verdict comes out saying that she did this to herself, people won't be surprised. Not only look at the differences of the patches and rips on her left jacket, I want you guys to look at where her sleeve ends. On her picture, her sleeve is totally different than that other picture. On her picture, her sleeve is a lot higher. It's maybe 2 to 3 inches above her wrist. That person that's walking in the hallway, that sleeve is at their wrist. So that would mean that individual is possibly a little bit shorter or has shorter arms than her. Now, going back to the video of different people in the room, it was some people there that almost had on similar jeans and almost had on similar or had similar hairstyles to possibly fit her, if they did duplicate. But that's why I said this whole situation gets confusing, but it gets confusing because me calling these electronic stores, they say that cameras can alter a person's shape where it might not be 100% the exact same size of them. But I don't see how a blue jean is not a cloth or a cotton material where your sleeve that's stopping 3 inches above your wrist should be able to be stretched down where now it's down to your wrist. That's something key, because to me that makes it seems like that person is a little bit smaller. So that means if it is a duplicate of her, someone else reenacted that, that means the person is one, a little bit more quote-unquote heavier, thicker, curvy, whatever you want to say, but this person is possibly a little bit shorter than her as well, or her limbs at least is a little bit shorter than her as well. The last thing that I want to talk about is just being desensitized by the media for the potential verdict that's going to come out of saying that she did this to herself. Now they're telling us that the FBI will not be taking on this case. Now they're telling us that They don't have any footage of her actually putting herself in the freezer because, what, ding, 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 the camera was not facing the freezer. Now, most of the time, my thing is, most of the time, you work at McDonald's, KFC, Walmart, or any place that's dealing with freezers, you have cameras that's directly on that door because that's a lot of stock. That's a lot of money. That's your money sitting in those freezers, sitting there waiting to come out and be served. That's where you can have thousands and thousands of dollars of stock, regardless if that kitchen is closed or not. When it was open, that camera should have been on that door to make sure they're monitoring people not stealing anything. Plus monitoring if no one can get injured and slip and fall in there. Because most freezers can be slippery if something falls and breaking is liquid and you fall. That's why I say cameras are there for multiple reasons throughout a hotel, not just specifically for this situation. It's there for people that try to fake injuries. It's there for someone trying to break in a room. It's there for multiple reasons. I've been in the airport and got out and was looking for my car for maybe 30, 40 minutes. I ain't going to exaggerate, maybe 25, 30 minutes. And a security guard ended up coming to me looking to see what was going on. Did I need any assistance? So someone walked around for maybe hour and a half, 2 hours, and no one ended up seeing that. They're banging, hitting the walls, this and that. But going back to the beginning of this video showing how that last footstep was the toe of her foot and it slid away, that would be the actions of getting dragged and pulled into whatever that is over there. She possibly could have already been dead before even getting in that room. Because like I said, when you're watching her walk, her left arm is not swaying anymore, and she's leaning back maybe 3 inches, maybe 4 inches, and her feet are in front of her walking. We know that they blended those bodies, so that possibly could have been his feet. This is a very sad story. Very sad, because there's certain things we know we see, but because, this gets to my last point, because of how they're trying to desensitize us mentally to believe that she did this to herself, go to CBS Chicago YouTube page. Go to the WGN. And for the people that can find the original video that was put out that did kind of show some of the shadows and different things, look at how they presented that footage to us then, and look at how they're presenting that footage to us now. It should be on the screen. You might not catch it at first, but I want you to pay attention to, they're ending these scenes real quick now. They're flashing and doing editing to whip it over to another scene quick now. Before, when they first put it out, they were showing the footage in its entirety, because it wasn't certain things that they did not catch that social media, YouTubers, and everybody else have caught. Now they're seeing it. So now when they're showing it to the media, they're cutting that stuff out. And when you go through the comments of those videos, you're hearing people say, oh my God, people got to know how to control their liquor. People need to be, they're blaming it on her. And it's not her fault. It is not her fault that she was put in that situation that night. It was premeditated well before all of them came there. When they walked into that building and was walking past the desk, one of the girls that was playing with her hair looked over at the desk. Not to say that was a sign of guilt, but possibly wanted to see who was there. Wanted to see if someone was sitting at that desk, maybe that's where the monitors and stuff is at. It's a very sad situation. She did not know when she was coming in there that she was not going to leave out of that building. Now, a lot of people are talking about Irene. I truly, in my heart, and with the evidence available, believe damn near 99.9% Irene knew what was going on. But I will say this. I do believe Irene purposely wore those mirror glasses to show who she was talking to. It was multiple times that she focused in on the guy with the red jacket. Now look at the guy with the red jacket. He's a bigger guy. He's a bigger guy. That elbow, that possibly is that elbow in that window that's covered up all of a sudden black, they need to go back and look at that. Is it cardboard on that window, or is that a clean window? Because if it's not, why is that boxed out in black? It looked like it's an elbow of a bigger guy. Because people are not paying attention to, you got the guy with the dreads, the shorter dude with the blue jacket on, the bigger red guy, and then in the far left in the back is a guy in a black hoodie. It's very sad. Whomever posted that picture of these boys online knew what they were doing and putting that information out there. And I truly believe as the situation was going down, Irene already knew what was going to go on that night. But as the situation was going down, she started to feel it and seen it. And that's why she's, not giving her no excuses. She's just as guilty as anybody that put Kanika in that freezer. She's just as guilty, but that's why she leaned and put that camera on that guy that was sitting on the edge of the bed in the black hoodie. It was no reason for her to do that. It was no reason for her to do that. She didn't just sway. She swayed and moved the phone to put him on camera and made sure that we could see the dudes that was sitting in front of her there. It's a messed up situation, but I want you guys to know that we love Kanika. We're not here to put up 30 videos a day to try to profit off of her. And I do want to say at first, I said I don't believe the police would have a reason to edit this unless they were trying to protect themselves from getting sued. I want to throw this quick jab in there for viewers. Don't just hear one thing that you don't agree with, but don't finish. Listen to the rest of the sentence. You can't read the title of a book and know what the book is about. Listen to the full, complete thing. I said I don't think they would have reason to edit this unless they were trying to protect themselves from being sued, or now I think unless they have someone that's in this particular situation, maybe a kid was there that's connected to a mayor or something like that. But now after seeing that sources, this is what I'm about to explain. Watching CBS Chicago and they're showing this footage and it says sources Rosemont Police, that means this is the footage that the police is sending them and this is the footage that they're showing the public. So now that they're not showing, definitely they're not showing the original video that was put out because it showed too much. They clipped that within the first 24 hours and stopped showing that. Luckily, that girl did record it. But now they're not even showing her when she's falling, when she goes around the corner and that arm comes out. They're not showing that no more. When she falls into the rail and when you slow it down, the screen skips. And if you pause it real fast, you can see Kanika leaning back as if someone is holding her. And it's the same part where it looked like a hand came out either to push her forward or to maybe grab her cell phone or trying to pull her back. We don't know, but you did see a hand. They're not showing that anymore. It's multiple different things now that they're ending the clips. You can even notice now that when they're showing her when she's walking into the kitchen, that they're not showing it kind of like in a full screen. They're kind of condensing the sides of the videos in. So when she gets to that, they're making it appear she's going off the screen quicker than she really did, because it was 2 times she stumbled over to the right, came back in, then she stumbled again. They're not even showing that anymore. Like I said, they're preparing us. They're desensitizing people that was straddling the fence already, or the people that didn't care or believe. The same thing they do when someone gets killed. They show that they're a thug, put up the worst pictures of them, because what they do for media programming is they make you not care about the individual, then you won't care about the death. And they have desensitized the world to not care about quote-unquote thugs. They label people as thugs. Oh, he was a gangbanger, or this person. That's why they're putting in this gang stuff with it. All these things are subliminal things that they're adding to this case to subliminally not make people care, so this case can get brushed under the rug. But it's enough people here that know that she was not alone. But rest in peace to Kanika. And if you guys caught anything else, make sure you leave it in the comments section.